I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, once she forms an opinion of you. Well, I've got an email that I'm going to go through, one email I'm going to go through with you today. And it's a short email, but it really brings up a point that is really important. And it took me a while to learn this. And I went through some really difficult experiences to learn these hard truths, and that is that once a woman forms an opinion of you, especially like at least half the people that come to me are trying to get an ex back. And whether you're a guy or a girl, once somebody forms an opinion of you and how you are, it's really hard to undo that. Even if you start applying the things I teach in my book and your game is mostly pretty tight, there's still all those negative things in the past or all those things that you've done in the past that make you look weak, that are working against you, versus just going and meeting somebody new and doing everything right from the start. So I got a quote that I wrote on this topic, and then we're going to go through his email. And the quote says, "As the saying goes, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. When it comes to dating and relationships, once the other person has formed an opinion of you and what they think you are really like, it's an uphill battle and almost impossible to change. This is especially true if you have done and said things over many days, weeks, and months that have made you look weak, needy, desperate, immature, too compliant, and like you don't love, value, or respect yourself. The only way it can be done effectively is to do the opposite of what you once were and wish to become almost 100% of the time. It will behoove you to have many new romantic options so you don't fall back into old, fearful, and unresourceful patterns that cause you to revert to your previous bad behavior. The only thing you have control over in life is how you show up, not what the other person does." So in other words, the only thing you have control over is what you do. And you may show up and your game may be totally tight, but if their opinion of you is very strong and very ingrained, it's almost impossible to get them to change their view of you. So especially if you're trying to reattract an ex, it's always best if you've got several other new people that you're dating, because that will help keep you in a non-hungry state, and it'll make it a lot easier for you to undo any needy, desperate type of behavior that you may have exhibited in the past, because remember, this other person is expecting you to be that way because you've always been that way with them. And most people understand on some level that people just don't change who they are overnight. So the email says, "Hey Corey, I really need your help. I've been together with this girl for about 3 years. We've been on and off a couple of times, and I became what I shouldn't. I became needy, and I even stalked her and was very jealous of everybody around her." Well, that sounds really masculine. "I changed that after I read your book and watched your videos, but I still have some problems with her. One problem is that last night we had agreed to see each other at my place, and she didn't come. She sent me a text later on saying she got held up by her friend, probably some other dude, and that she is really sorry and told me to please not get mad. Oh, please don't get mad. I'm really, really sorry." Yep, she blew you off. Why? Because she knows that you'll just come running after her and you'll put up with it and you'll tolerate it and you'll kiss her ass some more. And there's no consequences. In other words, you've demonstrated her over and over that she can disrespect you, blow you off, and jerk you around so many times that it doesn't really matter. You're always going to be like, "Please, thank you, may I have another?" I messaged her later on saying that I'm not mad, but we agreed on the date, and I told her to call me when she wants to see me. We saw each other regularly over these last few months just for sex. So the next day she came over, and just as we're about to have sex, she pulled up her pants and said she can't do it. She ain't into you, bro. And I got mad. I had this guy that I knew years ago, and he was dating this girl, and he was kind of overweight, and he was a pussy. And this girl he was dating, she was pretty fucking hot. I remember him telling me the story that they just got done fucking, and he rolled off of her, and she goes, "I can't do this anymore." And she fucking dumps his ass right after they finished having sex. And I mean, the bottom line is she just wasn't that into him, and she was just going along with it. And then she blew his ass off. dumped him because he just acted like a total fucking wussy when it came to women. And so back to the viewer's email. He says, I got mad, but I tried to keep it calm and told her to call me when she is clear with her emotions because I don't want to be friends. I even told her 2 days earlier that I am moving away from our city, and she got upset about it and a bit depressed. The thing is, we live next to each other. I told her that in some way because I was hoping that she would make the move and ask to be exclusive again. Come on, man. That's fucking weak. He says creating space would maybe help. So in other words, you make up this story about moving away because you think it'll make her want you. That's total manipulation, dude. Grow the fuck up. He says, so my question is, what should I do when she cancels dates like that? And should I really move away to the city where I work at, which is an hour drive? Well, the only reason you should move is because that's what you want to do. I mean, if you're an hour away from work, I mean, it would make sense to move closer to where you work. She shouldn't factor into this equation at all because she's just a girl that you sometimes hook up with and have sex with. So that's point number one. As far as canceling dates, don't make any more dates with her. Don't call her. Don't text her. Don't reach out to her again at all, period. When she reaches out to you, say she calls you, talk for 2 or 3 minutes, say, hey, it was great hearing from you, but I got to run, keep in touch. Don't ask her out anymore. If she texts you, send 1 or 2 texts back and forth and go, hey, it's great hearing from you. I got to run. Keep in touch. And what this will force her to do is realize that something's changed with you. Things are a little different. And that way, the only way you're ever going to make another date with her again is if she brings it up. She says, hey, I'd really like to see you. Then say, great. When are you free to get together? I'm only interested in making definite plans. If you bail out on me at the last minute, then don't expect to ever make plans with me again because I'm done with that bullshit. You're not going to treat me that way anymore. But if you want to get together, your idea, great, we'll make plans. Invite her to your place, make dinner together, hang out, have fun, and hook up at your place. That's it. No calling, no texting, no pursuing. Don't even bring it up because when a woman cancels a date and blows you off like that, like you're fucking nothing, that means that she has zero respect for you. And since there's no consequences, you're usually just going to keep calling, keep texting, keep pursuing, thinking you can change her mind. She's going to keep treating you the same way that she's always treated you. I mean, think about it. What are the consequences for her? There are none. You're like the total safe backup plan that if something doesn't work out with any of the other guys that she's seeing or hooking up with, she can always call you and you'll drop what you're doing to see her. But by doing this, by making her bring up getting together, then it's her idea. It's something she wanted to do. Then don't take her out. Don't go anywhere. Have her come over, hang out, have fun, and hook up. And start dating other women. You need to have some other women in your life. And if you want to move away because it's a lot closer to where you work. That makes a lot of sense. But don't say you're going to move away just because you're trying to get her to want to be exclusive with you again. I mean, that's just childish and manipulative, dude. It's like, come on, man. Grow the fuck up. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.